Worry not. Miko and I discussed that issue. She claims to have a plan. The preparations are underway as we speak.
One of her genius plans, huh?
Indeed. If you learn any details of said plan, I would like to know what I'm getting myself into.
Oh, A didn't tell you? Allow me to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce an esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
What clever verbal tricks, traveler. It appears you've been spending too much time with Miko. Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Oh. Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Ah, nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up. In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked like a charm.
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
Good. By decree of the Shogun, I declare that the Mikawa Flower Festival is...
Wait,
What is it, Miko?
you're being too hasty, eh? I understand your concern for the people, but I urge you to think this through, or we risk playing into the enemy's hand. Considering your history with nightmares, you have better cause than anyone to exercise caution. But do you truly believe that what we're facing now is just a nightmare?
Explain. All is well, Ioroi, hidden protector of the grove.
Ah, that would be because when Ioroi tried to pluck a naku weed from the Imperial Garden, A nearly split him in two, Yashiori Island style. Tainted by darkness, the Oni warrior raised her sword against the almighty Shogun. Losing an arm and a horn to the Shogun's blade, she fled into the forest, never to be seen again. A trusted lieutenant fighting against the forces of darkness, she was once devoured whole by a beast from beyond this world, with the body of a tiger and the tail of a serpent, until she tore the creature apart from within. Thus she earned the name Chiyo the Tigerbite, or Tora Chiyo.
I don't think Chiyo would like that name. Though she escaped the belly of the beast alive, that battle never left her. She saw the memories of her fallen comrades everywhere, slaughtered one after another, until she could no longer distinguish dream from reality. It was in that state, trapped in the battlefield of her mind, that she raised her sword against me on Mount Yogo. With the Muso no Hitotachi, I cut off her arm, one of her horns, and a portion of the mountain itself. I suspect that is when the horn in question was buried there.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bake Danuki. That means the fragment on the horn comes from Chiyo's nightmare. It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates all joy and every good thing in this world. The investigation team working for a better future? Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand? Attacked.
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, with whatever rationality remains, that it cannot defeat you. But sooner or later, its twisted hatred will force it out of hiding, and it will move to strike its enemies. When Chiyo set her sights on a target, she was never one to waver.
Oh.
But both possibilities prove something. Nightmare fragments can be defeated, and an enemy that can be killed is one that can be split in two by the power of Muso Ishin. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn. That is all that remains. The living must take precedent over the memory of the dead.
Oh, who cares about the dead anyway? I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bake Danuki friends.
Huh? What does that have to do with us?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bake Danuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it down, and who's to say whether you take the lives of our poor friends along with it?
I beseech you, almighty Shogun, spare the young ones. It was just a momentary... a 500-year-long lapse in judgment.
Miko, you speak the truth?
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered similar cases during their extensive travels.
Well, Oh! Yes. During my studies both in Liyue and Natlan.
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare fragment is a constant threat to Inazuma. Should all other options fail, I will take action. The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago. Even yesterday, when faced with the corruption of the nightmare, Mizuki could only mitigate the effects.
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. I think Mizuki has the right idea. If we cannot eradicate the nightmares directly, why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses. If we want to give the Bakedanuki an opportunity to strike, I assume you have a plan, Miko?
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. All that remains is a fragment of her nightmare, already broken and vulnerable. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has traveled the land studying dreams and is far more capable than those old fossils back then.
Oh,
What joy could possibly compare to finishing one's work right before the deadline?
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. The Mikawa Flower Festival is the most plausible target. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plain of Euthymia immediately. I will not put the people in danger.